Well, the one it relates to the one sort of like this, and I don't. Apparently, every guy has to learn this the hard way. But for most women, when they're talking about their problems, they don't want solutions. They just want you. Not. Well, I don't know why that wasn't spelled out in pre-Cana and all that, and like burned
Well,
it. Should be in the vows, and it should be right in the wedding vows and the liturgy.
the problem with that is that it's so natural to just solve the problem.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, I did that for more than a decade. Just solve the problem.
Welcome back, everyone. Craig and Jonah here. We're recording about an hour, 45 minutes late, and Jonah claims he has a good explanation. So
Yeah, so I was going to be right on time, and then I had to run back in and get my drink, and Dolores stops me.
So
and
she was up when you left?
She got up, yeah, and things have been kind of tense in our house lately, and I didn't fully understand it.
Classic mistake.
Yeah, and so you just try to piece all that together and figure it out, and I just wasn't sure what was happening. And
how long has it been going on?
Well, it's been kind of more tense than normal, like for a couple weeks.
Oh,
so it's been kind of ongoing, but not always like, just tell us not like a bliss stage, like you're used to.
What can I say?
You do it right. So we'll see how you'd respond in this situation. So we're at dinner, we're having supper the other night, and so I found out the root cause.
Oh, well,
which is valuable. It's valuable information, but
not necessarily useful, but valuable.
Well, no, it's a classic situation where men and women communicate differently. And like, if I would want something done, I would just say it. However,
how terrible. Men are just the worst. They just say
they
what
are.
they want.
No, full disclaimer, I am not a perfect man and I don't understand my wife all the time. But I try my best. I really do.
Yeah, the sincerity is legit, right?
It is legit. And so the other night at dinner, this is where it all started. This is where everything really went awry. So my wife really enjoys gardening. But this year we just have a lot going on, and she's busy too with different things. And she just said to everybody, she's like, well, I'm thinking about not having a garden this year. What do you think of that? And everybody's like, well, that's fine. And I found out this morning, many days later, that was the wrong answer.
Oh.
We should have.
You're supposed to talk her into it, to doing it?
Well, we should have said that we'd be happy to help.
Oh.
Gosh, and so then when she said it, it's like, shit, I could have said that. But I was just trying to be supportive. Like in my head, I had thought about that answer, but I was like, but then I feel like if I push for the garden, she doesn't want it.
Yeah.
So you got to weigh all the options there. So it's just like, I feel bad that that's really what the cause is, because I don't mind having a garden. I don't mind weeding it either. But I don't want to. She wanted support more than just saying it's okay.
Wow.
So it's just a mystery. Like, this is why marriage is an absolute mystery. And it's very difficult for anybody to have a truly happy marriage for every single day of their lives. I mean, is men and women communicate on different levels, I think, for the most part.
Yeah, it comes back. So did it blow up today then? Is that how you
Well, yeah, she was just really upset. And I was like, what's going on? Like so I'm upstairs, or I'm downstairs at 5:15 in the morning. I'd done the cold plunge. I was lifting some weights, and she came downstairs and she was just kind of grumpy. And I was just like, I asked the question. I initiated, what's going on? And I got an answer. And we talked about it, and then there was good resolution in the end. So not a happy ending resolution, but a good
for now.
For now, yeah. But it's just funny how something so simple like that, like I do not understand and I asked her about the psychology of that. Like, why not just say it?
And for her, it's obvious what you should do, right?
It's so obvious that should have been the answer. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and I know you're sitting here. It's like, okay,
Oh, I'm weighing all the options.
like, what's the right answer here?
There's Vegas odds. I was thinking support her with this because she's too busy, and I don't know. So good luck, boys.
Well, the one it relates to the one sort of like this, and I don't. Apparently, every guy has to learn this the hard way. But for most women, when they're talking about their problems, they don't want solutions. They just want you. Well, I don't know why that wasn't spelled out in pre-Cana and all that, and like burned it. Should be in the vows, and it should be right in the wedding vows and the liturgy.
The problem with that is that it's so natural to just solve the problem.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, I did that for more than a decade. Just solve the problem. Is this, where like Dolores might bring up an issue. Oh, just do this.
Mm-hmm.
No, wrong answer.
Right. Right. Yeah. So you're supposed to be supportive. Now, the thing I still struggle with is like how kind of like I said, how supportive. If she's kind of grumpy about someone else, how angry, how much rage am I supposed to have against that person too? Am I supposed to start? Is this where I start throwing things? Is this where I pull out my phone and I block them? Like, I don't have a sense for the how
supportive you have to be.
How supportive I'm supposed to be, or how much is overboard. Like, you don't know until you've crossed the line or whatever.
It's true though. You can't be a problem fixer. I mean, that's just a fundamental difference that most people discuss. I'm sure it's not all marriages, but it's a very high percentage of marriages where the man would just like to fix the problems and the women just like to talk about them.
And I have no idea why that is. Like, I don't understand why. Okay, I'm sure trads will just say, "Oh, that's just concupiscence, original sin." Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know, but just so we're going to be planting a garden, and I'm going to be happy to help.
And she's going to be happy the entire time. Never going to be upset that the weeds are getting out of control. This was all your idea.
Everybody that's married understands that what Greg is talking about right now, because that is so true. Man. I didn't want to do it. This is your idea.
Yeah, it's not a matter if, only when.
But I love my wife, but I just don't understand everything. I think I bet you that summarizes a lot of men's feelings on marriage.
I think in one of our last, I think in our last episode, I talked about how my wife was talking about a couple that we know, they're friends, and she was her friend was very upset by her spouse, and my wife was talking about that, and she came up and gave me a hug and said thank you for changing or whatever. Rolling his eyes in support.
I can appreciate that.
Well,
it's not the day for me.
Well, in the moment, I may have tried to say something that's like it was like I think in her mind though, like I was not trying before, or I was just like, right, like I was thinking sort of figured this out. This wasn't like I was like I had this conversion. I went from this bad husband to what I'm not. I just legitimately did not know until now how to do this.
Your wording is precise, because that is the wording that I heard as well. Do you try to understand me?
Yeah.
I don't know how I can try any harder. It's complicated.
Yeah, that I think is amazing, how our inability to understand things is imputed as like a bad motive, like we don't care, we're not even trying.
It's like trying to teach a squirrel geometry.
Yeah,
like they just can't get it, and that's how I feel that some of this is sometimes. It's like
it's not the squirrel's fault.
Yeah. Well, it's great that you've unlocked the Da Vinci Code for marriage.
Well, we're gonna put that thing on a. We're really gonna test that thing because we're going on a long road trip with all the kids. And
Mhm.
holy cow! Like, I don't know, bad stuff's gonna happen. I'm sure. Fortunately, unfortunately, we have 2 hotel rooms, so we can at least split up.
Are they adjoining rooms? Like, did you check on that?
No, but for family our size, even I can't like legitimately like. Sometimes we'll get like a one big room, and then we'll come in and like in heat and waves and people.
Yeah.
So they don't see like 10 people off the bed. The front bed.
It's just 2 adults and 2 children, huh?
That's right. The rest are just the personal assistants for now, and but it's.
So how long is the road trip?
We're flying, and we're going to be gone for 10 days.
Oh, 10 days. Flying too, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
we're going to really test this new relationship.
We'll see how aware you are in the airport of what everybody's doing at the same time.
So I wanted to pose this to you. So as we start to get closer to so we leave next week, right?
Oh, next week.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So as we get closer, so I'm looking ahead. I'm looking at calendars. What do you think I'm trying to figure out?
Yeah, because 10 days.
Yeah.
It's a slim chance you're going to make it, buddy.
Well, I don't think she's looking at that all, but I think it's going to line up where it's going to be right during our fertile time anyway, and we have to hands off. So it's going to be a close call on the day we leave. Maybe our one chance during one of the small openings that NFP gives us. So, but that's the kind of crap that you have
that is funny that
I'm like, okay, we fly out on day 4, the luteal phase,
Mile High Club. Yeah. Kids, just stay seated. Daddy's got to help mommy in the back.
I will take any bet that will happen. Name your price.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, those are long odds. I don't know. I would think.
So,
oh, good luck to you.
Yeah. So I'm not expecting to get any type of relief whatsoever while we're gone. So should find out where the confessions are at.
That's true.
California. I still go to confession before I fly.
Makes sense.
It's some psychological thing.
Oh, I do too. Absolutely. Even though you're more likely to get killed, in the car. But
right, yeah, you were posting that picture on Twitter the other day where that poor guy got blown into smithereens or something like that.
Yeah.
Confession, but I don't know, something psychologically like I always think if I'm in a car wreck, they can call a priest before I die, right? And if the car is burning, I can be giving my last rites, but on the way down, unless there happens to be a priest on the plane, your options are limited.
Boy, that'd be a good feeling, huh?
Yeah. I'm going to sit next to this guy.
You mind if we switch seats?
Yeah. Get your stole, get your whatever the thing they have to wear to do confession. You want to get that?
Oh, yeah, I think it is the stole.
Yeah. I don't know. So, yeah.
No,
but
that's my story. Listen to your wife and do your best to understand everything.
Well, maybe we should do this on a separate episode, but my wife did go through the 5 love languages book, and she's very excited, and she correctly identified our different love languages. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That is something.
Yeah. To the extent where she came with, and I never did that. Oh, I guess I never did the test part, but I knew from doing it. She's like, okay, now you get to do the test. Now I feel a little pressure to get it right. But she's invested in the book now, to the point where just the other day, and not necessarily related to that, but I think related to me figuring out this a little bit. One of our son, who is 14, told my wife, she's like, "You guys have been different. You guys have been so much happier, and you're not fighting." True story,
That is good.
and it's true. I mean,
Well, maybe I'll have to pick up that book. I haven't looked at it in a while, but
I'm re-listening to it on the audio.
re-listening to it,
Yeah,
man, you're deeply invested in this book.
if I could have if I could have only one marriage related or book or whatever, it would be that one.
How do you think that guy, because it's Gary Chapman, is that the guy's name?
Yep.
How did he unlock that?
So, excuse me. According to the book, he was counseling for many, many years, and he would take notes, and he started to see patterns form of people coming in, and that's how he came up with these. Like, there's certain similarities, and he realized that there was different types of people. Like, I think God just inspired him because it's very real, very true. But he just did all this counseling, and people would come in with the same not same problems, or different, the same, these consistent groups of problems or whatever, and it's legit.
That's interesting.
So thankfully she identified physical touch as one of my love languages, so we'll see.
Well, that's important.
Which, yeah. So
yeah. Well, that sounds good. So there is a test at the end, you said?
Yeah, there's like it's a questionnaire, I guess. Yeah, and it helps you identify which is your love language. So,
but is there a test for identifying your spouse's love language in there?
I think, and I haven't done it yet, but I think it's you're answering questions to identify your love language. You each do it to identify your own love language, I think, is how it works. Because it's asking you about things that you like or don't like, things that bring value to or bring you happiness. So,
all right,
yeah.
Well, I'll check it out again. Maybe Dolores will read it again too.
Yeah, I mean, if you like it can't hurt. Like it and it could help a lot.
Yeah,
I can attest to that. So anyway, all right. Anything else?
No.
Well, sorry to hear about.
Well, it's better now. We're
okay.
All the tension was gone when I left the house.
Got it out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good to air it out sometimes.
Okay.
And it's helpful to understand what's actually happening. Because sometimes, like, the tension goes on like that. It's like, I don't even know what's happening here.
Yeah. Do you dare ask?
Yeah. I mean, that's actually a great point. You're kind of waiting for it to just kind of unwind on its own, but you don't really understand what to do.
I think that is the question. Is do you just let it pass? Is it better to just bring it up?
That's where I had enough of the tension, so I just asked her what was going on.
I'm kind of a wimp that way. I just let it play.
What is easier,
Yeah,
but it doesn't work out in the end usually, and because it can always be brought up again, whatever this was this time.
What I find most remarkable, though, is it does pass, and then when it passes, she's back to normal, and it's like, are we just supposed to pretend you weren't like throwing things at me an hour ago and screaming at me? Like that, I just find like. I mean, I know you're over it, which is great. I'm happy. But I don't want to like revisit it and bring you back to that. But I'm kind of like, you were a very different person a couple of hours ago.
We should just ignore all that. Well, you see, I mean, they have clips of that on Twitter or whatever, where for some reason women, their type of release for tension is like, I think, doing aggressive things or
Mhm.
whatever. Like they
Mhm.
show the women beating sticks in the ground and
Oh,
like
yeah.
flipping tires and stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean,
CrossFit.
it
Maybe that's
looks.
why there's so many women in CrossFit.
Oh,
Mhm.
I don't know, but at least for me, that wouldn't do anything for me. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it seems like. But then once that release happens, then everything's back to normal. So I don't know.
All right. Frustration.
Yeah, that is our term for it, frustration.
TM. Don't hang and try and use that term. Jonah gets all the credit for that. Blame, whatever.
Yep, it's just the release that
Mm-hmm.
occurs when a woman needs to get something out. Sometimes.
Okay.
That's
All right.
all right.
Well, thanks.
No frustration around here.
No. No. Well, I'm glad you're okay. I was wondering. I was like, did he oversleep? Whatever happened? So
No.
I'm glad you're okay.
I'm just fine, and things are looking up. So.
All right. Very good. Well, thank you, Jonah. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And until next time, everyone.
Bye.